Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and thank you for hanging out with me. We are going to do a tour today of my save file, and today we are going to be checking out Oasis Springs. My name is Mela, I will be your tour guide. What you're seeing here is Oasis Springs, it's right in front of you. Let's start off let's go over to this neighborhood here. This neighborhood is called Parched Prospect. So we're going to check out this family. I think this is the only pre-made family that was in this neighborhood. They were originally, and they still are, I think they were called the Roomies, and it consisted of these 4 individual Sims here. I didn't do anything with these Sims except for change their summer and winter outfits because they look bad. So that's all I did with them, and then I plopped them into this brand new build. So I took them out of the build that they were currently in. I think the idea with these with this household was that they were supposed to be like the sitcom kind of household, like Friends basically. So I think that these were that's what these were, but I don't know, I never really played with them. So anyway, I shoved them into this build, and I want to show you this build, and I'll tell you the reason why I replaced the house that they were on. Well, I replaced all the houses, but instead of turning it into a straight up like residential house that they all roomed in, I turned this particular lot, I placed a motel on it, a little mid-century looking motel. So I wanted to build this particular lot just because I thought it'd be fun to have like a mid-century motel in my game. But the reason why I moved the Roomies, I think they're called the Roomies, yeah. The reason why I moved the Roomies into here was because I don't know if I would play them as a household, for example, like roommates. So I figured that they were all just kind of temporary Sims, temporary roommates. So I turned this place into a motel, and by chance, all of them happened to be at this motel, and that's how I would probably play them. And then they go out, either they pair off with other people or with themselves, and then they do their own thing in another lot or whatever. But this would be probably their starting point. And eventually, of course, I would probably turn this into a rental in my game, so people could check out Oasis Springs. But I kind of like this build. So yeah, just to show you a little bit more about this build, you could see here there's a pool, because of course a motel would have a pool. So sorry if I went too fast there. Here's the main entrance. I have a little bit of a diner here, and here's the kitchen. It's fully equipped, has a dishwasher, a fridge, and a stove and everything. Public bathrooms. Here's like a little office, and back here would be a bit of a lounge. Somebody apparently left their laundry in there. And there's a little patio. There's a hot tub in the back too. So we have these rooms here. I can't remember whose rooms I assigned to whom's, but each of them are a little suite. So it has everything that one would require from a hotel suite, including bathrooms. There's another little office here. Each has their individual doors, but yeah, that's what this lot's about. And I think the reason why there's laundry all over the place is because this is full. I think I hired, not in this game, but I did hire a maid for them, and I made sure all the doors were locked, I think. Yeah, in a different game, I made sure all the doors were locked, and you could do the same thing too. So, for example, I think if you wanted to assign this room to Zoe, for example, then you would just right-click on this door here, or click on this door, and then lock for everyone except Zoe. And then I would click on it again, and that would allow access to employees. And I think that's how it works, so that this would be Zoe's room, but a maid could go in there and clean up if needed. So yeah, there's that. And let's have Zoe be our tour guide. She is cleaning up. Oh, she could put like laundry in the hamper. Okay. All right. Let's put you in some decent clothes. I really need to go in there and just change out her, change all of their outfits. Everything is pretty basic right now. So another fun lot would be this one right here. This has been in my game since forever. And it's definitely on the gallery too. I think there's two versions of this particular build. One is a bar and this one is a restaurant. So, I mean, it's a typical diner. Not much to talk about this one, but it's pretty cool. It's fun. I did make a few changes to this for the save file. I put a little bit of a parking lot in the front here. Let's actually go and visit it right now. Yeah, so this is your basic diner. Okay, yeah, I made everything. I made this particular lot soon after the bowling night stuff pack came out. So as you could see, it's very bowling themed. I was thinking about putting like a bowling alley in the basement or something like that, but I didn't really want to bother. And besides, if you make it a restaurant, it doesn't activate the actual bowling alley gameplay, so which is unfortunate because it would be fun to have a restaurant slash bowling alley. That would solve a few of my problems, but yeah. I think this is one of the earliest diners that I made in game though. But yeah, I like it. And I thought it fit this theme here. The theme of like, you know, mid-century-ish. You could tell it's hot because you could see the air moving. But also, I have a couple of, again, very mid-century themed homes here. And the best way to actually see these would probably be just to visit them, really, and just to... they are all in the gallery, so you should be able to go ahead and download them for your games if you didn't want to download the entire save file. But they're kind of like some of my favorite residential builds in my game. It's just... yeah, so I like this one in particular. This one has an above ground pool in the backyard. And then originally I had these with like a stairs, but when the ladder update happened, I just replaced everything with ladders instead. But I could imagine just kind of hanging out here on this patio, just enjoying the sun, the artificial lawn all around you. But yeah. Very, very cool neighborhood. And then, of course, I have this one starter build over here. So in case you just wanted to move in, there's this one little build here. I feel like this one is a little bit out of place. I feel like this is more like a less desert, more West Coast, I think, but whatever. Anyway, let's move on. Got a lot to show you. Now, I was talking about restaurants. So let's head over to the commercial area here. I have a video about the commercial area already, like a bit of a video tour, so there's not much new here. I did make a few changes and improvements to each of the builds, but I didn't do anything major to any of them. They're all still functional. They all still work really, really well. I am in build mode right now, so yeah. But yeah, I won't go into like any of these too much. I kind of hemmed and hawed about whether or not I wanted to keep this particular build on this corner because it's a fast food restaurant, really. It's nothing too special. I just kind of like the idea of having a fast food restaurant in the game. So there's a fast food restaurant and there's also a movie theater here. So you definitely need the movie night pack. Because the movie night pack also comes with movies that you and your Sims could watch. I debated whether I wanted to keep this one here, if I wanted to turn this into a bowling alley. Eventually, the restaurant won. I do have a bowling alley that was kind of in the works, and I may put that up in the gallery in case you wanted an alternative for the spot here. But I needed to do a little bit of testing with that, and I haven't gotten around to that yet as of making this video. So another weird build that I have in my game that I have mixed feelings on is this one here. It's called the R&D Lounge, the Research and Development Lounge. Basically, because it is zoned as a lounge, you You could zone it as a karaoke bar if you wanted to. But up at the top here, there's a whole office. So there's a little bit of an office here with some desk, reception area, the boss's office, a boardroom. Never checked out the view from the boardroom. The boardroom is the back lot over here, which is kind of cool. Oh, and I guess there is a roller rink today because it's summer. And then there's a lab here. This is the research part, the research and development part here. And this little thing here, I forget what it's called, but it's from Get to Work, and you could, it's supposed to be a 3D printer or something like that. So you could go in and make stuff. I don't know if it actually, I think it works. I think it works in this build. So I'm pretty sure I tested it and it works. But sorry if it doesn't. If it not, then at least it's very nice decoration. But this is the functional part of the lot here. So this is the actual lounge itself. And if it was a karaoke bar, then you could replace this with a karaoke machine in there. But it's a nice bar. A typical corporate bar, I think. So there's that. And then right next door is this furniture shop. I really like making furniture shops in my game, I noticed. But yeah, there's a furniture shop in there, and every so often I go in there and I change the displays up. But yeah, it's a fully functional furniture shop. I think if it's in your game, it should be functional. So it used to be owned and then it was sold. So that means that you could go in there and actually buy stuff from the showroom. But yeah, I like this because it backs up onto this parking lot. And there's another display here. This display is the city living themed display, but I have different displays in the gallery if you actually wanted to go in and change those out. But yeah, and then there's a playground here too. So, because, you know, you need to leave your toddlers in the ball pit when you go shopping for furniture. So that's what this place is for. But yeah. Speaking of ball pit, if you go all the way over here on the other side, I replaced the bar with a cafe. So this is the Allegra Play Cafe. This is a big cafe here with a play area. So you could leave your kids in the play area while you go have a coffee and a muffin or whatever. And again, it backs up into the parking lot. I think this place works really well for this corner. So I left it alone. I didn't change it or anything. But yeah. Let's head over to the other parts now. The next part is... Actually, let's go ahead and visit the Calientes. All right, here we go. We're visiting the Calientes. Okay, so this is one of my favorite builds, actually, in, like, you know, in Oasis Springs at least. But I like this house. I'm actually surprised that I like it. I use a lot of inspiration from like California houses, kind of modern homes, because I feel like this area is very, very California, I think. So there's a lot of Mediterranean style California suburban houses in here. I think this one is a base game only build. And again, of course, it's on the gallery. I don't think it's a very remarkable build, but it's there. I'll talk about this one in a bit, but this one here, I'm actually pretty proud of. This one is, I'm proud of in a weird way because it looks obnoxious, right? Because it was meant to be obnoxious. I made this for a McMansion build contest on Reddit. And I think I made like second or first place according to the votes for this particular build. But yeah, it's a little bit of a ridiculous build. It's intentionally so. It was made with the idea of, you know, how McMansions are built. They just like mismatched everything, mismatched dormers, mismatched windows, just kind of a pylon of weird architectural elements that just make no sense, but in a way work because, yeah, if you have money and you have like, you know, you just wanted to have a big obnoxious house in the middle of the desert, then yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's what that one's about. I kind of like it, so it's there. But let's get back here to the Caliente household because this is fun. Let's knock on the door, be invited in. It looks like Katrina's What is she wearing? I don't know what she's wearing, but that was weird. All right, so now she's been invited in. So now I could show you how this place looks. So yeah, it's got a lounge here. I think there was a TV here. I'm not sure what happened to it. Did it disappear? It might have disappeared. There is, okay, so let me show you what's going on here. There's a kitchen here. There is, oh, this is the dining room. Right here, this is where Dawn sleeps. This is kind of like a converted garage. I think below, yeah, here is the entertainment room. Very nice, so they could hang out here and watch movies. Here are the bedrooms. So this is Nina's room. Nina Caliente's room. There's a nice bathroom here. This is Dina Caliente's room. And this would be Katrina's room right there. So very modern, very posh. And then I love this backyard of theirs. Honestly, it's very nice. I'm happy that it's built. But yeah, it has a hot tub, a nice wooden deck, a pool, stone patio. So, and it backs off into this oasis here. So yeah, it's a cute house. I really like it for the Calientes. If you want to use it for your own Sims, feel free to do that. So the other place that I wanted to talk about in this corner would be this build right here. So let's wait for Zoe to head over. Okay, realized there was nobody living in this house, so we're just gonna have to do this in build mode. But I did want to show you this house. This is called the Sunset Springs Senior Home. I had a completely different build here before as my senior home. I do like this as a senior home because this is a perfect spot to put a retirement community, I think, in my opinion. But yeah, so I built this for my save file. I built it a little bit different than the one I had before. I like the previous build that I have before, which is on the gallery. You could check out the original one, but I made a version 2. So I like this a little bit better because I just feel like it's a little bit more of a realistic building, I think. But yeah, it's a big building, again in the Mediterranean, California style. Got plenty of dining, plenty of spaces to commune and gather. I had an idea, and of course it's not an original idea, but yeah, I had an idea that I wanted a place to send my elder Sims, especially if I'm playing a legacy or whatever. So they could move here and, you know, at least they could be a little bit happy. There's a lot of room. There's a pool. There's places to relax. You could garden. There's a hot tub. There's art. There's an art room here. There's a work room here. If you wanted to do some flower arranging, that's available for you too. There's a wood bench, a woodworking bench, and yeah, upstairs here there's even more rooms. So here's a yoga room. Up here there is a massage parlor over here, a little massage room, and here's the bedrooms. Some of the bedrooms will have their own en-suites. But yeah, it's a nice big place. It's really pretty. It's a nice place to retire, basically. So yeah, that's what this build is all about. So if you have any seniors in your game that you need to send somewhere, this is a perfect place for it, I think, in my opinion. So there's that. Okay, so let's head over to somewhere else now. We're gonna head over to this area now. This is Bedrock Strait. Let's head over to Sandy's Fill Station. This is a bar. All right. We're at Sandy's Fill Station. I really like this bar. This bar is previously, it used to be a gas station, but it's no longer a gas station and it's been taken over and now it's a bar. So I kind of like it. It's very eclectic and kitschy. But yeah, there is all the typical stuff that you need from a bar here. And she's talking over there. Does she still need... She's kind of hungry. While we tour the area, let's make sure that she gets fed. So let's order a bit of food. We're gonna give her some... let's see here. She could eat a pretzel. But it's a cute bar. Like I said, pretty eclectic. I like it. It's this is a bar from Strangerville. It's got a lot of atmosphere. And then over here is, well, the back alley. Some junk. Really like this place. This place looks pretty cool at night, but really good place to kind of just hang out and listen to tunes and drink beer or nectar. I moved Johnny Zest to a mobile home in this small area here, and there are some other little ranches here. There's this is a adobe. This used to be the small adobe house that was over here, and I just kind of replaced it with my own. And I think this one is a base game build. So, sorry, no, this isn't a base game build, but it is under. It's a starter, so it should be under 20K. So your Sims could go in and move in. And here is one of my favorite builds. It is La Hacienda. It's a... I love historical builds, really. I love the challenge of trying to build them. So this is my attempt to build a classic hacienda, like at least a North American version of one. So, but yeah, it's a family home basically. It's got everything that it would need. So there's like some extra rooms for crafting. There's a little library, of course, a nice kitchen and everything. I think you can see it from here. A little bit. No, you can't. But yeah, you could, like, you know, it has like everything that you need, but it's a really cute build, I think. The only problem I have with it is I don't think it fits in this neighborhood. Like, I mean, there's like a whole bunch of small builds here, and then you have this huge historic build, which is fine. Sometimes that tends to happen, but you know, I probably would have gone a different way had I not rushed myself to put the save out. So yeah, but in any case, I like it very much. So yeah, that's this corner here. Now let's head over to... So we are heading over here to the Affluista Mansion. It is just about sunset. Sunset in Oasis Springs is really pretty, by the way. But this is where the land grabs live. So I changed this from the original house. So I just kind of made this more of a traditional looking, again, Mediterranean themed mansion. I don't know if anybody's home. Let's knock. I think I had a few misgivings about this mansion, but I wasn't really sure. It's fine. It's got like everything needed in a mansion. Lots of rooms. Lots and lots of rooms. So there's a lot going on here. There's a little outdoor kitchen here, which I'm kind of happy with. Or a little outdoor eating room. It's not really like a kitchen. There's a sink and a bar, looks like. Nice big bedrooms. And of course, really pretty outdoor living. So this is probably one of my favorite outdoor spaces in this game, in my game, that is. And I'm, you know, more so than what's going on inside, I'm actually pretty proud of this area here. From this part here, oops, well, yeah, there's a balcony. Oh my gosh, I hate this bouncing. There's a balcony off of the land grab's bedroom, but you could go down to this back area here. There is, like I said, there's the outdoor bar and dining area here. You come out, there's a hot tub, of course. There's a little bit of this, there's a swimming pool. Lounge area over here. Step down, this would be the beach house, or the pool house rather. So yeah, it's got all, it's fully equipped for guests. And you go this way, you go this way, this way, and here is servants' quarters. And again, it's fully equipped and everything. So yeah, this is like I said, probably one of my favorite builds in the game. And there goes Zoe, just going for a dip in somebody's house. She hasn't even introduced herself to anybody. That's okay. Across the way here is, I think this is the modern Yuma build. I think this is one of the very first builds that I have in my game that Max has actually favorited, so I'm actually pretty happy with that. I've made a lot of changes to it along the way, though. As you can see, I've added stuff from the Eco Living pack. Eco Living is probably one of my favorite packs for building. I use their stuff in a lot of my builds, so I'm not even sorry about that. But this is a kind of a neat build here. I built it with the intention of you know how in the desert, like, you know, you want to put the sleeping quarters on the bottom levels because it makes it cooler there, and then the living quarters are up above here. So it's kind of like an eco build sort of before I had eco living. But yeah, there's a little bit of a pool back here, which is not very eco friendly, but yeah. And oh yeah, this back patio here, really, really cool. I love it. One of my sim families lived in this lot, lived in this build, and just kind of fun having parties on the back here because you could overlook the valley here, which is really cool. But yeah, enough of that. Let me just take another look at the back here where Zoe is hanging out. I love that she's just like made herself right at home in somebody else's mansion. I think that's her character. I'm pretty sure this is like, you know, typical Zoe kind of character here. So I don't even know what that means. Anyway, last build that I wanted to show you. It's kind of too bad that I'm showing this to you at night, but it doesn't look bad at night too. I think it's fun. It's like kind of a neat place for like a romantic rendezvous. I made a mini golf area here. So I wanted to have a mini golf kind of themed park in this game, and this was a perfect excuse to use the new terrain tools when they were new. So we were introduced to the terrain tools a couple of years back, and everybody went nuts. All the builders went nuts. So this is me going kind of nuts with that. But over time, I kind of fixed it up and I built around it. I just made some changes to it and everything. But yeah, so right here, there's a little bit of a bar where you could kind of hang out. The restrooms are right below too. A play area for the kids. You have a little pond. And you have all the holes here. And you should be able to travel everywhere. We don't want to talk with Cassandra right now. So yeah, everywhere is traversable. So I did a lot of testing because I know that there was a lot of, well, there's just a lot of weird hills and everything, little bumps and stuff like that. Just wanted to make sure that all the Sims could go everywhere that they need to. Unfortunately, it's a non-functional mini golf place. So all you can kind of do is just kind of hang out. And if you're into posing, like using pose packs and everything, you could pretend. Oh, she's clumsy, I see. It's morning. But yeah, everything is traversable, so it's a functional park. Actually hosted a wedding here once, so I don't know if I have any screenshots of that, but it was, you know, it worked. So yeah, that would be Oasis Springs, and thank you so much for hanging out with me as we tour this place. It has been really fun for me to build. that's Oasis Springs. And thank you again for hanging out. I will see you soon in my next tour of my save file. Oh, by the way, if you want to check out my save file, head over to my website at sims.blackdaisies.com, and all my builds will be available in my gallery under my EA ID, simdaisies. So please do check it out. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. All the important links will be in the description. Thanks so much. Have fun and cheers. Bye.